All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Ronin. I'd like to welcome you to the Mystery Movie Night podcast. Already in the chat, Enigma Severus. Retired midnight blogger himself, Curtis Shelby. All right, my co-hosts are backstage and we're ready to go. So, the reason why I know you're all really here, Sin's Corner.
No. Nope.
The man who will probably kill me sometime in the next 4 minutes. Off the cover.
Howdy.
All righty. Okay.
Yep.
And that was your show. Good night. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being
Bye,
here.
everyone.
Take it easy. Goodbye.
See you later.
See you later. Yeah. No. I like to pull that one just to see if the chat is awake.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Curtis.
And,
Hey, Enigma.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, Sin is in the middle of writing her review right now, I think.
I'm actually posting to Twitter, so Deleted and Paul, don't go to Twitter.
Do not go to Twitter. In fact, forget that Sin's even here. In fact,
Yeah.
enough of this Sin business. I have no idea who this person is. She was no. Okay.
You're having way too much fun behind the controls there. Way too much. All right.
My plan is working. This evil, diabolical plan of mine. Yes.
Yes, even me.
All right.
Okay.
Well, okay. Let's start. How have you two been since the last time I saw the two of you?
Well, the two of us together, because we just saw each other less than 24 hours ago.
Yes,
Twice in one day, we did 2 streams
Indeed.
together.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, it's been good. I actually saw a few good movies since, besides The Bike Riders.
Nice.
One movie, actually, I wanted to bring up, just super random. I happened to have it on with a friend on Saturday night. Was Vicky Cristina Barcelona, Woody Allen movie.
I've heard of this, but I've never watched it.
It was good. I liked it. However, I'm going to say that Woody Allen is one sick MF.
Well, I don't like him anyway. So I tend to stay away from him and his productions.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly like Javier Bardem's character is clearly Woody Allen's like fantasy.
Okay.
But I really, really liked it. It was like it was about like the poly lifestyle, but like way back before it even exploded.
Okay.
So the movie was like based in 2008. And yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Okay.
All right.
And was that it, or was there anything else? I thought maybe there were multiple.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess we'll get into the Acolyte on my stream.
Yeah.
The death and beating a dead horse Star Wars continues on. Yeah.
And if this knee pain guy they've been talking about is correct, this ex Lucasfilm employee, he says they're not quite done beating Star Wars into the ground just yet. So
the producer Leslie Headland, I have a theory, along with half of Twitter, that she's got to have the goods on a certain co-founder of the Miramax company and his ties to Disney, which is why they gave her $180 million show.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, how in the hell, like, why the heck was she given this?
Yeah, I mean, she completely disrespected the lore. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
it's not even Star Wars. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
Like if you want to call it its own thing, like Rebel Moon 3 or whatever, fine. But yeah, that's been the disappointment lately. I also picked up the first episode of The Boys season 4. So far, so good, I guess.
Yeah, I gave up on The Boys. I decided not to keep watching it because Eric Kripke he rubbed me wrong with his comments. So I was like, I'm done. I'm out. Yeah.
Well, first things first, trailers. Anything jump out at either of you?
I really want to go see Dee Dee. In fact, I mean, it's coming out the same day as Deadpool and Wolverine. So I might actually split it because I think it might be a good movie to see with my mom. It's about a parent raising a kid in the age of social media. So she might enjoy that. I would definitely see that. And then there was the Russell Crowe. I don't know.
Did they show a trailer for The Exorcism?
Is that what that was? Or
I'm going to go see that on Friday.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Like he plays an actor
playing a priest. Yes.
Right.
The Exorcism.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
No. All I'm gonna say is
I'm not expecting it to be good. I'm just going because I'm curious.
And you are a horror fan, so
I am a horror fan. I'm not necessarily a possession horror fan.
Okay.
But I'm just curious. I'm going to be out of town for a couple weeks. I don't know how often I'll be able to go to the theaters while I'm away. So I would like to see something that I can do a review. Well, Quiet Place Day 1, I had to cancel my ticket because I forgot I'll be out of town. So, but I am going to try to maybe take the nephews to see that when it comes out next week.
Yeah, I'm not setting foot in a theater until Twisters.
Maxine is coming out also when I'll be gone, so I can't see that till I get back.
So is that a prequel, sequel to X?
So that's a sequel to X. Pearl was a prequel. I never watched Pearl.
I've never watched any of them.
Well, I watched X and I liked it, though Mia Goth, I did not like her character in there. There's something about her face that annoys me. So I didn't like her character. And I was like, well, she just really gets on my nerves. Yeah. And so I did not want to see Pearl because Pearl, she's playing a younger version because she played 2 parts in X. So she's playing one of the characters, a younger version. And I'm like, well, I don't like this character, so I'm not interested to go watch that. But I am interested in Maxine because it takes place in the 80s. It's supposed to deal with like serial killer, whatever. And I have a feeling I'm still not going to like Mia Goth's character, but I've warmed to her a little bit more as like an actor. I don't know. She just rubbed me wrong. And then I was like, what is it? Is it her character I didn't like, or is it her? So I went and watched an interview with her, and she's the most adorable thing. So I think it was just the character. But I'm just curious because it's 80s and it's, slasher serial killer stuff. So
I'm going to ask, Sin, does X receive the Sin seal of approval?
So I liked it.
Okay.
But there were parts that I did have some issues with, but I enjoyed it more than, let's say, Barbarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it more in some ways than Smile because it held up for me. Smile was excellent up until the end, and then stuff that happened at the end just really annoyed me. Kind of the same thing with Barbarian, but X, even though there were some gross moments like old people sex, that was really nasty to watch. Like I did not want to see this.
Yeah, no.
In general, I still enjoyed it the entire arc. So, it's a movie that won't be for everybody.
You know me. I trust your recommendations.
Well, okay, but I mean, it's a slasher horror,
yeah.
So it's not going to be for everybody.
Sure.
If you don't mind that sort of thing, you might really enjoy it. I heard her performance in Pearl was really good, but I don't like Pearl, so I didn't want to see that one. But I am very curious about Maxine. So we'll see.
Yeah. Dee Dee looks really good. I'm telling you right now, Joan Chen's going to get an Oscar nomination. That's a prediction.
Is that the kid? Is that the kid?
No, the mother.
Oh, the mother. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess diverse, blah blah blah. But hey, no, it looks good. I'm going in there, with high expectations.
Yeah, that looks good. Joker looks good. We got the Joker Folly of Doom trailer.
I did not want to see that trailer.
Yeah, I didn't get no one.
I walked out when that trailer came on because I didn't want to see it. Because I'm going to see the movie. So
okay, but the trailer is surprisingly good. And now
I heard
won't
Lady
go any further
Gaga,
than
so that's kind of like I still feel like she was a mistake, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get on to tonight's film. And, 2 weeks in a row I called it.
Yeah, you did. Called it.
Hey, good. Yeah, good.
Yep.
The Bike Riders. Written and directed by Jeff Nichols.
What else has he done?
Shotgun Stories, Midnight Special, Mud.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of somebody else. Take Shelter, I think, was also him. He has Michael Shannon in a lot of his movies. Michael Shannon is also in this.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen his stuff then, because none of those are ringing a bell with me.
I mean, I've heard of Mud, but I haven't seen it.
I have heard of Mud, yeah.
And Hello to Caveat Ties. Are they on Schwinn's? No, they're on Harleys and Triumphs and
Indians and
other various, in some cases, put together with spare parts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, this is a film that takes place mostly between 1965 and 1973. And tells the story of the Vandals motorcycle club out of Chicago.
Yep.
Yeah. In the good old days.
When bikers were good.
when they were good. Yeah.
When they were good. And when they were good.
Yeah.
Before these meddling kids came in.
Yeah, these damn meddling kids. And
oh my.
Close-ups to actors I feel like I should know, but I don't. And that was not anything against the film.
Who did you not recognize? I recognized several faces. I knew obviously the leads.
I didn't know. Well, yeah, she was
the main
easy
girl
because she was in Killing Eve.
I haven't seen that.
She was in the Ryan Reynolds gaming movie.
Oh yeah, she's in that too. Yeah,
I forgot the name of that.
Free Guy.
Yes, Free Guy. She was in. That's the first time I ever noticed her as an actor. And what was funny to me was that, oh my gosh, they got 2 Brits to play the leads in here.
Yeah.
It's so hilarious how they're. But I mean, they're excellent actors. So
yeah.
I have nothing. I have no issue at all with
Brits,
that.
You have. I think there's like an Australian or 2 in there.
Oh,
and,
okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's that kind of movie, folks. And I was really worried when I saw the trailer because I went, okay, this is too close to the Wild One, and Tom Hardy's trying to sound like Brando. Then they have the scene in the film where he's watching the Wild One.
Yes,
and that's where he gets the.
That's because
he's trying to emulate Brando. Yes, because he saw this movie, so it all makes sense. And I went, okay,
fair enough.
Now you get it.
That was my main concern. But I wonder if this movie is going to start making a rebirth to biker groups. If it's the way they were during the first 75 minutes or so of the movie, yeah, I would be fine with that. But anyway, we don't want to go. I don't want to go too far into spoilers unless the 2 of you want to. But
let's do it. Ain't nothing like diving deep and off the cover as getting into spoilers.
We'll be
okay.
like Fish Jelly reviews. All of their reviews are spoiler full reviews.
Okay. Well, I'll put that at the bottom then.
I mean, we can wait till a little bit
Yeah.
if you want, and then dive into it for anybody
Yeah.
who doesn't care. I am curious to know how much of this was actually based on real events or how much was embellished for dramatic purposes. But as I said in my review, really, with biker gangs, how much do you honestly need to embellish for dramatic purposes? Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this off my chest. And this is not like anything like a bad thing to get off my chest. It's just something I want to say. I initially did not want to see this film when I saw the trailer because it's just not my type of film. But this film, to me, was actually very solid.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the pacing. I loved the acting. And the trailer presented Tom Hardy's character in a way that I thought he was supposed to be the villain of the story, but that's not exactly the way things went down. And what I couldn't stop thinking about while I was watching this was, so my uncle, my mom's brother, he was a biker. So I, in some weird way, felt like I identified with these characters. My uncle was not like a bad guy. Obviously, some people he hung with were probably bad, but he was a biker. He's no longer with us. He passed in 2016. It was nothing about his biker life or anything. He'd kind of given up. He was still a biker, but he wasn't like part of like a gang or whatever when he passed. He had silicosis, and so he died from that because of rock work and stuff. Oh, did he kick himself out, or did StreamYard kick him out?
I kicked myself out. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Wrong button. All right. And hello to Big Al Presents. Go ahead.
Hi, Big Al. So, there was a part of me that felt a kinship in a weird way. And my uncle was this big guy, tall guy, like 6'4". But I really loved him and I miss him a lot. And so I got a little bit teary-eyed at certain moments in here, just kind of thinking of him. And then when the movie was more than halfway through, like all of a sudden the light bulb went off in my brain. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so surreal. The main character's name was Benjamin. Benny. They called him Benny. My uncle was Ben. His name was Ben.
Wow.
And he was called Benny. And you know what else is weird? His wife in here, played by Jodie, her name's Kathy. My mom's name's Kathy. It's like, wow, this is really weird. I'm gonna have to suggest my mom watch this movie. I think it'll make her sad because she'll think of Uncle Ben. But anyway, I really liked this movie. I liked the way they crafted the narrative because she's basically being interviewed by this guy who's writing a book or whatever, and you have flashbacks. Basically, the movie is all flashback for the most part, except for when you see her talk in present day with which present day in the movie was like what, 75, 73, 73 maybe. So I felt like everything was just, the pacing was done really well.
Yep.
And I was drawn in immediately, and I didn't think I would be.
Yeah. I felt the same way.
So I really like this movie, and I would recommend that people check it out.
Nope.
So that was my my phone reminded me to take my asthma medicine. Carry on.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna echo Sin's opinions quite a bit. I had zero desire to see this, mostly because I love to movie hop, and I like to get 2 or 3 for one specials when I movie hop, and there's like nothing else I want to see. And this was like, I'll catch it on streaming if I want, whatever, or sail the high seas eventually. So when I saw my AMC, they did the mystery movie night logo and then automatically like put up the poster.
Yeah.
And I heard
Yep.
actually the people I was watching it with, hilarious, just random people, random New Yorkers, and a bunch of them were like, "Oh yeah,"
Yeah,
like they were really excited.
that was sort of the reaction from some people in my theater too. I thought that was kind of funny. So, and people are like, "Yeah," like we basically indicating, we guessed it right, you know.
Yeah,
So then in my theater, there was a lot of people in the theater.
Yeah, mine, you know, I had somebody like sit right next to me, but like the three to the right of me were wide open. So I had like, I could like really stretch out like a starfish. I was like very
I couldn't.
comfortable.
Our row was pretty like I always get seats at the end to sit with my
Yeah.
movie buddy, and that row was pretty much full. I got there and I'm like, "Oh goodness, I'm going to have somebody sitting right next to me on this side."
Yeah, I mean, I'm like middle of the middle of every middle. Like I
Oh,
have it. Yeah,
that's where you sit.
I'm
Yeah.
so OCD about it. Like I want to be right in the action. Leave me alone.
Right in the middle of
Yeah.
I try to get the back seat
Ah,
in the middle,
yeah.
but when I go to these, I sit at the end because that's where she sits. So
Yeah. No, but yeah. So broad strokes, I really like the acting. I love the set design. The costume, well, whatever, the wardrobes, all great attention to detail. And you know, it made me harp back to one of my earlier videos on my YouTube channel when I first started, that there's been really like a bifurcation in Hollywood where you get the $200-300 million movies and the super indie movies for like a 50, 100 grand. There's really nothing in the middle. So this is actually, from that perspective, the movie that we actually do need. Because I don't know what the budget was, but I couldn't see it being more than 50 million. And it's gotten under advertised. I mean, I've seen it on like, you know, bus ads or whatever, but I haven't seen much of it. So sadly, I don't know if this is going to break even, but we do need movies like this, because it's movies like this that get people's butts into theater seats. Not the 1,000th iteration of whatever. Clearly not Star Wars now. Yeah, we really do need a movie like this. The other thought that I had was, we're seeing a lot more of Austin Butler, and I think the way that Hollywood is framing this guy. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Austin Butler. I thought he was great in Elvis. I thought he was great in Dune. But I think they're trying to frame him as the next Brad Pitt. He's got the similar look that he did in, let's say, like True Romance and like whatever, Legends of the Fall. And so I think they're trying to usher in the new generation, Brad Pitt, with him. I really like the actress that played Kathy. I heard her makeup it just made her look so good. When she like first walked into the bar in the beginning of the movie, like she had the little cat eye eyeshadow, and I was like, "Oh, you look so cute."
She's adorable.
So adorable.
She's got the most beautiful skin. I noticed how like flawless her skin was in oh gosh, I keep wanting to what's that movie again? I keep wanting to call it Fall Guy, just like someone else mentioned. Free Guy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. She was excellent in here.
I mean, she's gorgeous. So another thought that I had was that in terms of the character arcs, somewhat the plot line, and somewhat the feel of this movie, really harkened back to The Fighter from 2010 with Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, and Amy Adams. So Austin Butler and Tom Hardy were just as good as Mark Wahlberg and Tom Hardy. I don't think that she hit just as high of a note that Amy Adams did in The Fighter. I know they're two different movies. To me, they just felt very similar in pacing and just in their narrative. But with a few more practice movies, I think she could get up there. I was shocked that she was English because I was having a lot of trouble placing the accent at the beginning of the movie. I thought that this was taking place in Boston because
she had a bit of a Yankee twang.
Yeah,
to her.
yeah. And then I'm glad that Deleted mentioned the fact that Tom Hardy was channeling Brando, because I was like, what is he doing? So I didn't actually catch that until Deleted. You had mentioned it.
Well, something that occurred to me when I'm watching this, you know how it's like girls always like the bad boys.
Yeah,
they like the bad boys, and that first shot of Austin is like, yeah, I totally know why.
Yep.
He is a pretty boy. Let me tell you.
And it's so funny because like in my theater, everybody just like reacted to that scene. They're like, and I'm like,
he's definitely like, he looks so different to me than he did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's why I had totally forgotten he was in that movie.
Austin Butler
he was Tex.
Yeah,
he was Tex.
Kidding. Okay, I have to go back and watch it.
He was like the scary one, the guy that I was really scared of in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But he has evolved so much, and he's just he's got great range, I think, as an actor. He was really, really good in here, and he's also very pleasing to the eyes. I mean, he's like very photogenic, and he's got the angular face. He's got he's in great shape. It's just like, wow, I totally get it.
He's very James Dean.
Yeah, better than James Dean to me. Let me tell you. Hey, Sashi. Sorry, my son just came in and interrupt. Yeah, $5.50. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
No, but I really like the acting. As you mentioned, Sin. I didn't even think about this, but the pacing was really good. I wasn't bored. I wasn't checking my phone, although my phone was blowing up with text messages, which I had to respond to. I was like, oh, okay, fine. But because usually a lot of these shows or movies, like, I'm just kind of watching it out of the side of one eye, while I'm doing something else. But this one, it was slow burn at first. I'll wait until we get into spoilers. There was one moment where it was like, I thought the writing was really well done, very foreboding, like what's about to happen. You do see something coming. But it was really well done in the way that, like, let me not spoil it right now, but
you're talking about the introduction of a particular character.
No.
Okay, because I knew as soon as that character, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no. So it was like towards the end where where Tom Hardy shows up to Kathy's house.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Well, you know what this is signifying. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like really well done. I like that kind of writing. It doesn't matter that I see it coming. It's just the way in which the exposition takes place.
Well, you saw it coming when he was leaving his house too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So. And you, I guess, kind of saw it coming when the kid first showed up.
Right.
But I think he treated the kid very maturely, actually. You're leaving your friends? Well, we don't want someone like that.
Yeah.
That's a very mature, very fatherly.
It was a good litmus test, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, it was a very. It really showed how strong of a leader he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did surprise me that he was presented in a way that to me was completely contrary to how he seems in the trailer, which is why I said he
Mm,
seems like the villain of the story, and he's
right.
not. He's
He's
just this
not. No,
guy
no.
trying to hold this gang together,
Right.
and it's just like this buddy group. And yeah, they got violent at times, but it
Right.
wasn't like they went out and necessarily instigated violence. It was
Right.
generally
Exactly.
No, it
response
It
to
just
was,
something.
happened.
yeah, they were usually
Yeah.
provoked.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And when he decided to take matters in his own hands, it was like, okay, well, he's not messing around,
Yeah.
but he didn't come across as like fundamentally a bad guy at all.
Right. Right.
And as the years go on, he sees the gang's getting bigger, things are getting a little bit out of his control.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I know a little bit about that. Just from a history perspective, like, yeah, the biker gangs were the veterans from World War II coming home to their Indians or well, I don't know if Harley Davidson was founded, I want to say in 1938. But Indian motorcycles were very prevalent back then. And it was just a wave of, like, I guess, therapy for these guys that were
Yeah.
coming home from war.
Yeah.
Because, like, ain't nobody talking about psychology or PTSD back then. That
Yeah.
didn't come around until long, long after in, like, Vietnam. And so it was just a way for the camaraderie that they experienced over in Europe or whatever in the Pacific Theater to, have some fun, get together, drink some beers. And then I really liked how the film showed the evolution of that into what it is today. With the drugs, like the one scene where the guy's shooting up, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, and like you could see Tom Hardy's character was like, ooh, nah, come on, man.
Yeah.
And it was, the not so subtle part was when they were like, well, it's the beer drinkers versus the pot smokers.
And then the harder drug. Yeah.
Right. One really harrowing scene was when Kathy was getting dragged by those new guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was
wow.
really.
I was like, I really don't
very
want to
tense.
watch
Yeah.
that kind of scene, and I'm glad I didn't, because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm actually drinking whiskey in honor of this movie.
Oh.
Although a little less hard. Like, they were all drinking it like neat and whatever. I kind of made myself like I have this old fashioned with a twist, with my own little poly twist. Instead of a maraschino cherry, I just do a little bit, like a spritz of lemon. It really like lightens the drink into a very summery drink, and it's not like as like caramelly flavored. So that's cheers all out there in radio land.
My water. Cheers.
But yeah, this felt appropriate. Yeah.
All right, deleted. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, the trailer had me nervous. I went, okay, it's got a decent cast, but it's like it's not doing anything for me here. But then again, like I said, there's a scene very early on that cleared up one of the major misconceptions for me. So, okay, now I can just sit back and enjoy the movie. And damn, this thing's good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Right?
This is really good.
And so the other issue that I keep seeing around with these movies, where I'm like, I think this is pretty good, is, am I thinking this is good by like 1995 standards, or in relation to what we've been getting during the dark age of cinema?
Yeah. No, I think it's just solid.
Yeah, no, it was.
It is. It's a solid film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's so funny.
And
Kyle Corwith, who we usually live stream with.
Right, he's on your.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Oh, was
Me and
he?
the wife just came out of a screening.
Yeah.
So
Was that a comment on your channel? Because I
it
looked
is.
for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. That I was asking him. I thought he was on Deleteds. I was asking, was it Regal or AMC
Oh,
that he
yeah.
went to?
So I'm just gonna send him a text message because I think he would be a great addition to our mystery movie night.
I was thinking that. Does he regularly go to the mystery movie nights as well?
I'm wondering, but I think he should come out with us.
Think about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, obviously, it's up to Deleted. This is his baby.
Right? Yeah. Is it the more the merrier? Deleted.
Sure, I'd like to.
Have you met Kyle yet?
I don't believe that I have.
Oh, okay.
So,
He's been on
I
all
don't. I
streams.
haven't been on with him. So
Deleted. Next time I have a live stream, you should come on.
okay.
Well, the very next live stream,
Unless Deleted is streaming, because he's always streaming.
always stream.
Or working. Yeah, I know.
You'll have to.
When is your next stream?
I'm planning on the 27th, which is next Thursday, but I didn't realize it was exactly the same time as the debate, which I would love to watch. So for now, the 27th, I might push it back into July, but usually on Thursdays at 7.
Yeah, I will be out of town for the next. I'm leaving Saturday. I am going to be on a live stream at my brother's house on the 27th with Wilkie's. I don't know if he's still in the chat. So, and then I'll be in another location the following Thursday. So I don't think I would be able to join for a couple Thursdays. But obviously, hit me up.
Sure.
Whenever I can make it, I
sure,
will try to make it.
Yeah. Because I know that Hard Cut is actually going to the debate.
Are you so? Oh, that's
because
right.
Of their like underlying job.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of their
Yeah.
So I might push it back just so we get more Acolyte garbage.
Oh yeah, and the next week is July 4th week.
Yeah. So I might do it the 11th.
I would be back in town on the 11th if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll ask Hard Cut if they can make it, and then we can get like more people. I want to like start building one where it's like Friday Night Tights where it's like 12 people. That would be fantastic. But those are
big streams. I don't see how in the world they handle those conversations.
I have no idea.
Yeah, X-Ray Girl, I don't know how she does it. I don't know how many mods they have on Friday Night Tights now, but man, because that chat is just going by so fast. I tune it out because I can't even read it. It's gone by so fast.
Yeah.
So we did have a question in the chat here from Nigam Severs. You guys have mentioned trailers and the underwhelming things. Have you all heard of a rumor that trailer companies are no longer permitted to mislead the storylines with the trailers?
I have not heard that.
Really?
I would sure as hell be all for that. It's probably not going to happen, but
yeah.
I just wish they'd show less of the plot. That's really
well, you want to give people a hint of what this is about. I can think of one movie.
They give too many hints.
Well, what about the trash heap that was I Saw the TV Glow?
Oh yeah, I didn't.
The trailer showed nothing.
The trailer shows nothing.
I had no idea. Yeah. I had no idea what the movie was about. I walked in and I'm like, so this movie is about autism? Oh no, it's about transgenderism. I'm like, really? Because I thought they were autistic, not transgender. But whatever.
Well, like Longlegs, I don't really know what the synopsis is. I mean, I haven't read it, but like based on the trailer, I just know it's a horror movie.
Right.
But I have no idea like what's the premise or anything. Abigail, they showed way too much. I did not want to know what that little girl was.
Right.
I would have and they could have framed that in such a way to let you know something really weird is going on with this whole kidnapping thing, but they didn't have to reveal that. And so that still annoys me. But they really do need to overhaul whoever, like the editing for trailers. It just needs
in a world.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't like to watch trailers, because I don't want. You never know when you're watching one whether they're going to show you too much, because most of the time it feels like they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's very disjointed lately. Yeah, and with the internet, you get to watch the trailers on YouTube anyway.
Yes, that's true. People like to react to them. I don't react to them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked. I mean, they've been going a little overboard with previews. What was the last time? It was like 27 minutes of trailers.
Oh, it was.
That's a bit much.
It's ridiculous.
That's a bit much.
Well, like sometimes they don't start them until 10 minutes after.
Right.
And then they go for 15 to 20 minutes. So then the movie doesn't start until 30 minutes after.
Maybe 2 or 3 tops.
Well, I don't ever remember it being as little as that, but now it's
early 90s. Early 90s.
A lot. Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't regularly going to movies in the early 90s.
Oh gosh, I am such a cinephile that like, I remember. Well, I don't remember. Actually, I do not remember this. However, at some point in the 80s, there was some Santa Claus movie. I guess not the one with Tim Allen, but one that came out in the 80s. And my sister took me as, I don't know, it might have been like a 3 or a 4-year-old. Complete lack of recollection of this. But apparently I started really crying loud, and she had to call my parents to pick me up so that she could finish watching the movie.
No.
But I do have like what was my, I think so the first movie memory that I have, I want to say I saw The Little Mermaid in theaters, and then the original Ninja Turtles live action in 1990. So
I remember that one.
Little Mermaid was 89, and I had the hugest crush on Ariel. Oh my God, I was in love. and I was like, oh my God, I was so into the Ninja Turtles because it was new with a cartoon. I had no idea about the Mirage comics, but I think I saw the Ninja Turtles movie twice in theaters. Sorry, Mom, that you had to take me twice.
Well, I was dragged to movie theaters as a young child because Mom and Dad didn't have babysitters. So whenever they would go, because sometimes they would go like in the 70s, right. And I was really young.
Right.
And I got introduced to things I should not have been in. Like they took me to go see Lipstick.
I haven't seen that.
Ooh, that's a movie about SA and other things, and has Chris Sarandon in it, and Margot Hemingway and Muriel Hemingway when she was a young girl. And I specifically remember the ending of that movie because it kind of scarred me. Scarred me as in it was a little traumatic to watch it. And then I rewatched it. The
1976.
Yeah, the late 70s. Yeah.
Like all right. I need to add to my ever-growing collection.
And then they went to go see what's the movie with Jack Nicholson? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They went to go see, and I never forgot the scene at the end, like what the Indian guy did to Jack Nicholson, and that traumatized me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there was some sort of Wolfman movie that they took me to see, so it was like, that was a little bit much.
I mean, I was left to my own devices a lot. So I did watch The Exorcist when I was 5. I watched Jaws when I was like 4.
I saw Jaws way too young, and I was convinced he was coming up out of the blue carpet
100%.
in my aunt's living room.
Oh my God,
get me and come up out of the toilet.
Right, yeah. And I was like, the one time I was like truly left like home alone. True Lies came on TV, and I was like,
such a good movie,
so good.
I love that movie.
Like my parents went to some wedding or something, and I was just like left alone at home, and it just happened to come on, and I'm like, so good.
I wish I
Like,
could rewatch that movie for the first time.
oh, yes. Yes. It is the perfect movie.
It's excellent. That's like, to me, that's James Cameron's last great film.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my rant about Cameron for the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because my mom has this, she grew up with the original, whatever it was, 1967 version of Titanic. And she's like, "Oh, this new version, oh, it's terrible, it's terrible."
I didn't like
it. It doesn't show the tragedy of the whole thing. And so I kind of say the 1967 version, more death, less love.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Titanic didn't get okay until the ship hit the iceberg, but then you still got a whole bunch of Rack and Joes. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Rose and Jack. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't like their characters at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's but True Lies, and I know you're a big fan of the Terminator series.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, 1 and 2 probably.
I mean, I'll watch. The only one that I'm very angry about and I refuse to rewatch is Dark Fate. The others I will watch and appreciate-ish, but 1 and 2 to me are canon.
Honestly, I am very partial to 3.
3's decent-ish. It's just kind of a repeat of 2, except with a girl.
Sure.
Sort of, kind of,
And like an actress that was like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, she has
Donna Loken had nothing.
No,
I guess she didn't sleep with a certain executive at Miramax.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a taboo name, just like Effrey Jepstein.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, like if YouTube hits it.
Nope, never. What is this Terminator you speak of? Well, I would
Genesis is the best
that.
One. No.
I did enjoy Genesis for what it was.
I detect sarcasm here.
I see the laughing faces.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. It's not the best. I liked where they tried to go with the storyline, but Emilia, how do you see her name?
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia with an E. Emilia Clarke. She was not convincing as Sarah Connor. She did not get buff enough. She didn't look like she could hold her own. She was very soft.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
Linda Hamilton was the definitive.
Oof.
Except for Dark Fate. Like, she just, I mean, I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know what Arnold was thinking with Dark Fate.
I'm such a wasted opportunity.
100%. 100%.
It still just angers me.
I mean, maybe they can. God, I don't want to put ideas into their heads.
I don't think they. I
think they're gonna do a remake with with Joseph Baina, however you pronounce it.
With his son.
Why?
Baina?
Illegitimate. I mean, he looks exactly like him, and he's jacked.
He doesn't. He's jacked, but he does not look exactly like Arnold.
I mean, doesn't look exactly, but the face is very, very similar.
Oh, I hope they don't do that. No, don't remake the Terminator. Don't do that.
Well, Hollywood is unoriginal, as we know. They're eventually going to remake Star Wars with, a black Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll flop. You're better off for it, Sashi. I mean,
yeah.
I had high expectations and was utterly disappointed. Despite what the critics said, it was not very good to me. I don't blame you. I wish I could take back my time.
Yeah, Sashi, my suggestion is do not watch Dark Fate.
It got high critical reviews, too. And it was like...
hold on a second. Audience?
High audience reviews as well.
I call BS on that one. Hold on a second.
Go check it out. Check it out. It did. It was like in the 70s, I think, for critics and maybe higher for the audience. And I was really aggravated. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
So I just checked this. Critics 70%, audience 82%.
Yeah, and I
Wow.
completely disagree with both of them. I mentioned that it's a decent action film. It's a shitty Terminator film. So I
Ah,
don't know. It's like I feel like
our
a lot of the
audience is getting
audience.
dumber.
Or they're just not Terminator fans. Just like, well, I was gonna say Star Wars: The Acolyte, but the audience hates The Acolyte. So
Yeah. I mean, I think it's who was it? Tyrone Magnus did a thing that it was like the worst rated Star Wars product ever. And
yeah,
I
it's
mean, like,
bad. But
next
the
to
critics are
the
like,
holiday
what, in
special.
the 90 something percent or the high 80s? It's like, get out of
Right,
here with
right. No,
that
no,
nonsense,
because
please.
they're all bought out.
Yeah, we know.
And that's why, I mean, I'm going to go on a rant here. That's why YouTubers like us, like the Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, whoever, is doing way better because we are more authentic. Moreover, mainstream media is getting its ass kicked
By
6 days from
independent,
Sunday.
yeah, by
You know,
independent
like
journalists on
nobody's
YouTube.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly because you want to get delivered the news and news commentary in somewhat structured, non-pandering, non-corporate way. If
And
you
where people
want
aren't screaming at each other.
exactly, you know, this is what got me down this path of open-mindedness and debate. Was and I really want to shout out to anybody in the chat and anybody watching later. Go check out Jonathan Pye on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
He's just to let everybody know, he's a comedian whose shtick is he's a journalist who's caught on a hot mic. So it's like live reporting from Buckingham Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez, and goes off on a rant.
Yeah.
And it is very like it's mostly UK politics, which fine, I don't whatever. It's nice to know like what the people want. But it's guys like that like open the doorway because the original video that I saw that like went wild, and that one was the eye-opening video where I completely changed my tune on everything, life, liberty, and the pursuit of justice, or whatever.
Mm.
Was his the day after Trump got elected video,
Okay.
and he just lays it out in a
Hey.
rant, and it's so on the money. He's like, okay, well, if you call people deplorables or racist or sexist or whatever, how do you think they're going to respond? The key to this isn't name calling, it's debate, it's discussion.
Yeah.
You know, we might disagree, but we might come to some middle ground.
Well, it kind of ties back around to just the whole entertainment, topic. If you treat fans disrespectfully,
Yes.
they're not going to want to engage with what you're putting
Yes.
out there.
Absolutely.
So,
And
yeah, in a lot of ways, respectful discourse is things are just so polarized.
yeah, and I'm glad you brought up respect.
I'm quite sick of it, actually.
Yeah, no,
So,
I mean, I think everybody is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought up respect. And I harp on this in every one of my videos now, starting with my Top Gun Maverick review. When Tom Cruise comes out beforehand, it's like, hey, we made this movie for you. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching it. Seth, what's his name? God, Seth Rogen came out before Ninja Turtles. Again, I really enjoyed that one. I don't know, like might be mixed reviews on that, but again, he came out. He's like, "Hey, I'm a big fan. I made this thing for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for being here." The showing of respect to the audience, it goes a long, long way. And it all started with Tom Cruise doing it, I think.
That's the first time I remember seeing that happen, and then it happened more like it was happening in the mystery movies, Like they did that for Talk to Me. They did that for some other things, which is, it's nice that I mean, because maybe they're realizing, hey, we need audiences in seats for the big screen to survive. Right.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a shame to have that die because I just love the magic of the movies.
I know.
It's just like you come in. My stomach, as I've gotten older, can't process the popcorn there, so I have to like bring my own, and even then, like, I'm old, whatever. But just the popcorn and the soda and maybe the chocolate,
all the bad things.
I
just sneak my coffee in.
I remember the very first time that I drank beer in a movie theater. It was the movie 1408 with John.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
My friend and I brought in a 6-pack, and I had to keep going to the bathroom, and I'm like, drinking in a movie is not a good idea.
No, you have to time it. So you have to time it.
Right.
So
and I have the world's smallest bladder.
Oh, okay. Well, I time it. I time it by. So like tonight, I was like, okay, this movie's supposed to be about 2 hours long. So an hour into it, I'll drink my coffee, and then I'll be good.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I remember one time I had a friend from grad school. She was a piece of work. Not good. I mean, this was like one of the greatest nights of my life. I don't want to get into what happened after the movie, but this girl, like, we go see the original Expendables movie back in 2010.
Okay. Oh wow.
And she brings in, what did she bring in? She brought in a bottle of schnapps.
Oh jeez.
So she was a very awesome person. What happened after the movie was just ridiculous. I can tell you offline what happened.
Oh dear.
It was I remember that night vividly, and I
bet you do.
14 years ago.
I bet you do.
It all started with that bottle of schnapps in that Times Square theater.
Oh Lord.
It certainly made the Expendables very entertaining.
I can imagine it. Oh Lord, black coffee. No, I can't do black coffee. It's got to be heavy cream. 48 ounces is a lot. I definitely don't have that much. I see deleted. You rated this movie the same as I did on Letterboxd.
What did you guys rate it?
I gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
I would agree with that.
I'm going 4 out of 5 as well. And right now, top 3 for the year so far.
It's gonna be up there for me. I'm surprised as can be, honestly, you guys. I really did not expect this.
It was a very positive surprise. It was definitely a surprise to the upside. Is it cool to get into spoilers now?
Okay, let me put up the ticker. We are going to go into our spoiler section now, folks. So if you want to see the movie and you
if you care about spoilers,
don't want to have anything given away, walk away now. Completely understand.
As much as we would hate to see you go, we get it.
As much as we would hate to see you go, we get it.
Stay. Be drawn in,
or
just turn the volume down.
Or mute us until I take the spoiler banner off.
That's another great idea.
I see that enigma. Keep Ahmed away from the movie. That's funny. It's kind of an inside joke with Ahmed. He streams with me with Jeff and me on Wednesdays, once a month, Sound Booth Theater, when we watch movies. And we did one of the movies one time was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and we all liked it except it gets to Ahmed and he didn't like it. It's like, what the hell? So he's just like a total downer on that one. It's just kind of funny. All right, so spoilers.
Yeah, okay. So Tom Hardy's death, as that we alluded to before, so well written, and so anticlimactic too. At the same time.
Yeah. But I was thinking he was going to be well, it just isn't his character. He's not this type of person, so he
Right.
wouldn't have. But my thought was, dude, you know these young ones are trouble. Bring a gun to that knife fight. And instead, the other thing happened.
Right.
It happened the other way around. And then I was annoyed because the dudes in the car didn't just run over the guy. I would have just run him over.
It was so funny in my theater where the guy turns to the other guy and says, "Well, what do we do now?" And somebody in the theater was like, "Run him over!"
Exactly.
I did that
right in front of the car.
out loud in the theater. I went, "Run him the fuck over." I was that guy.
I said that to my friend. Yeah, I said that. I was like, "Run him over. What the hell are you doing?" That was annoying.
It was.
That was really aggravating.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I hated that because by then I'd grown to really like his character.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
he displayed signs of leadership, fatherliness. You didn't really get to see much of his home life because clearly he had a family and a life and a job before this.
Yes.
But
now,
obviously,
the chick that was with him at like the scenes where they're picnicking and with the gang, was that his wife or just some chick he had on the side? Because I couldn't tell. I didn't see her face enough.
I couldn't tell either because I wasn't paying attention to that. The other thing that I noticed, because I'm a huge fan of Mad Men, and this obviously takes place during the same time. Was just the way the dialogue was written, and so I was like, okay, Mad Men is advertising executives in New York City, so obviously they would speak differently than others outside the New York City area, outside their socioeconomic strata. So it was interesting. I paid attention to the dialogue, but I couldn't get over the accents. Like I was like, wait a minute, is it Boston? And then I'm like, okay, keep saying Chicago. So I was like, I've been to Chicago, and I don't notice a Chicago accent. I mean, Chicago in and of itself doesn't really have an accent to speak of.
This was back in the 60s, early 70s. So I don't know, but she sounded like she was either from Boston or New York.
Yeah. Right.
And
so did Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think Austin I don't remember him having any accent at all.
Yeah. So at the end, I wanted to ask you guys, how did you interpret the end?
Okay.
With the, I know
the final glance between
exactly. Yeah.
So so if it hadn't been for the last quirk of the lips that he had,
right,
I would have thought that he was still yearning for that lifestyle because it played the sounds of the motorcycles. And then he's looking at her and he kind of smiles. So I felt like that while a part of him did miss it, he was still happy and content with where he was. Yeah. That's the way I took it.
Yeah. And because I was like, wait, but did he go back to it because of the sounds of the motorcycles? But I guess it was just like a memory fading away.
I think he would just kind of reminisce. Well, yeah, there's that. The motorcycles, they do kind of fade away, don't they? The sound?
Yeah.
Maybe they do. So that's a way you could take it for sure. If they had just cut it off at him listening to the sounds and he just still had kind of like an impassive face, I would have been like, oh, wow, okay. So he's really missing it and he's not happy, even though she says, and then he smiled at her and says, oh, okay, well, maybe he really is.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good ending. Certainly a happy ending. I wonder if they had kids. But
I thought he was going to be dead. I honestly thought his character.
Oh yeah.
Or that they would have split up.
Or that he just left because he
was going to be one or the other of them.
Yeah.
Because again, going back to the way the trailer is cut together, again making it look like Tom Hardy's going to be the villain when he and makes it. The trailer makes it look like it's going to be.
There's going to be a showdown.
They are fighting for control of this gang.
Yeah,
that's not the film at all. They are very much, until one particular point in the movie, they are very much on the same side.
Yeah.
Their ride or die until they get to a certain point in the film where Tom Hardy makes a decision and Austin Butler goes along with it, but there's a point where, afterwards, with the scene with Cockroach, and there's a guy in this movie named Cockroach, folks.
Yeah.
Well, so it's like that. When they get up to that scene, it also, even though Austin Butler calls him out on it, he could just as easily have killed Cockroach and been done with it, but he didn't. Because it's not in him to do. He didn't want to. He never wanted to.
Well, but
he had to. Yeah.
Show.
No. This is what I think that was all about. Initially, I was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And then this is why I think he did that to make it look like Cockroach had been killed, to protect him, because the younger gang members were going to go after him to try to kill him once he left. And so at first I was like, "Oh, it's a punishment," but then you can tell this is something he and Cockroach had already talked about, because he said, "Are you ready?"
Yeah,
and like ready for me to do this thing, and then he made some sort of reference to letting it bleed or something. So like, okay, leave plenty of blood. So it looks like he was shot or, killed, and the body was moved. And so they think he's dead.
Okay.
So that was a form of protection. That's why Austin said to him, "Oh, like you protected Kathy."
Yeah.
That's what
right.
Okay.
That's right. And then the other thing that I really, really liked was the biker from California. I'm looking at the cast.
I kept thinking he was Daryl Dixon.
Norman Reedus.
Was it really him?
Yeah.
From, I was thinking it was him, but it didn't sound like him.
Yeah. But I liked how they kind of
his teeth were gnarly.
Oh God, yeah. I was looking at that. But so
bam! Sorry, I thought you were a walker.
No, but the way they kind of accepted into the club, and it was really funny because I was like, the way they wrote the joke around the fire, where he was like, "Yeah, I was sent here from California because you didn't turn in your colors or whatever," and then it's like, "Nah, just effing with you."
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was really funny. Yeah. But the evolution of that character, where back then he would have been accepted,
but
versus
as things got
after
would not have
changeover essentially.
Yeah.
It's that's part of the sad part about it, the changeover. But I guess, in the 60s, honestly, it's all Bob Dylan. The times they are a-changing, and the times were very turbulent in the 60s, especially around this time, 67, 68, 69. Especially 68. Bobby Kennedy gets shot, MLK gets shot. And so... yeah, it's very turbulent, and there's the changeover into whatever the 70s become, and which this movie did really well, I thought.
It did. The hairstyles, I noticed how the hairstyles were changing. Her hair starts off really poofy. It's I didn't like that, and then it goes down more and more and more till eventually it's just normal.
Yeah, I like the Asian girls, big bob.
That big one. She had a really big one.
There was this. How does that stay up on a motorcycle?
It's a big, huge ball of teased hair and hairspray. That scene so I wrote something down. I wrote down fighting, then talking like buddies. There's that scene where they get into a fight with those other
members.
Then later they're sitting around drinking and just talking like chums. I thought that was hilarious. I'm this is the difference between men and women in general. Men can engage in that sort of stuff, and then later they'll be sitting around drinking beer together. Right. And women is no, the hell, that's never going to happen. I thought that was hilarious.
I did like Michael Shannon. In every role he's in, he creeps me the F out.
He's creepy, for sure, yeah.
He's a very creepy guy. I wouldn't want to hang out with him.
He plays it well.
He does. Yeah. I mean, my favorite role with him was 99 Homes
Have not
with,
seen that.
it's really good. Andrew Garfield plays the son
Okay.
in this movie where the mother's house gets foreclosed on. Then he goes to work for Michael Shannon, the forecloser. It was so good. Very good. Extremely sad.
Yeah.
Be prepared for that. But Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon, so well done. So well done.
And as I said earlier, this was directed by Jeff Nichols, and Michael Shannon is kind of a
staple.
His De Niro, his staple. He goes back to him all the way back to his first movie, which was a movie called Shotgun Stories, that no one ever seems to remember, but it always stuck with me. And
very well reviewed on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's Michael Shannon is the oldest son. This guy has 3 sons, abandons them, goes off, becomes rich, has this whole other family, kind of disowns, his other sons. And the truth comes out one day of, hey, this guy also had 3 sons before he got rich and got married, and all this, and then the second older son, the rich kid's son, goes to Michael Shannon and, look, Dad lied to me too. You're the firstborn. You're the head of the family now, as far as I'm concerned. But Michael Shannon takes it as the kid's just trying to shine him on and rub it in his face, and it becomes this Hatfield and McCoy's situation. And very sad movie. You don't see any violence on screen, which was the interesting thing about it. But you would find out, there's been an altercation, and now another one of them is dead. And that movie just always stuck with me. And if you ever saw Blue Ruin,
parts of that,
very similar movie. But other than that, you have a director who knows what he's doing, got a great cast together, kept everything to the point.
Yep.
Kept it on story, kept it on character. There's no fat on this movie. I can't think of a single scene that I would leave out.
In the bike riders?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the bike riders. Yeah.
There's no fat. There's no fat.
It's not 2.5 hours for no reason.
Exactly.
It's not 2.5 hours, but
during the movie.
Oh, you mean like okay? I get it.
Yeah. During the movie, I actually checked what's the runtime, and I'm like, because I was worried about getting home.
Yeah, me too.
Just under 2 hours.
Yeah, just under 2 hours.
It's like an hour 56.
So the credits started. So the movie itself actually started in my theater around 7:30, and it was over about 9:16.
Yeah. Same.
So
and it was funny because hilarious because I was like, what time am I going to make it back? And the bus driver on the M15, bus number 6099, looked like he wanted to get home because it is the quickest ever that I've gotten home from that AMC.
Oh wow, nice.
I was home in under 10 minutes. I was like, what? Okay, sure. This guy really wants to get home.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Well, for me, as you know, my Regal's been starting these movies later and later each week.
This one started early, right?
It started early, 6:55.
What the heck?
And trailers were done by 12 after 7.
Okay.
Oh wow!
And really, yeah. I mean, I sat down.
12 after 7.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
doggy.
Hello.
She's going to bed. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
Oh,
she's
poor little
cute.
face. Oh. Okay.
How old is she?
She is. Hold on. She was born in December 2015. I think she's 8. She's going to be 9 this
Oh,
year.
okay, very nice.
Yeah, and here's our other one. He's
I'm
going
sure
to bed.
she's still spunky and very, yeah.
She is. This is Levi. He's our little blind boy. See his little cataracts?
Oh,
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Oh,
Poor little boy.
cutie.
Yeah.
Huge fan of dogs. Huge fan.
I love dogs. They're the best. We have another one. She's Aurelia's. She usually keeps her with her upstairs, Tifa.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, I had a dog for 13 years. He passed away a
Aw.
couple of years ago. He was a German Shepherd mix,
I love
who
German
was
Shepherds.
basically like a dog version of Chewbacca.
Oh.
Like he was just like,
Dogs are the best.
yeah,
They really are.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to get another one. Maybe soon. Maybe
It's a lot of responsibility.
it is, and you can't just like pick up and leave.
No,
so
you
it's-
can't. And
yeah.
it's hard because I've been traveling a bit this year, more for work than normal, and also I'm going up to Jersey now more than normal now that my brother's divorced and
Yeah.
he has the kids, and not always, but he he needs some help with them sometimes, and it's hard on the dogs when I leave. Oh, they get very sad and mopey and don't want to
Yeah.
eat, and it's just like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, my dog used to leave me nice surprises whenever I left.
Oh yay.
And you know that it was because it was tiny. They were tiny, so he like pushed it out.
Hell, he was
Send
pissed
a
at you.
message.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was annoyed with you.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message. Yeah.
Oh gosh, what were we talking about before we got
The bike
sidetracked
riders.
by my dog's
Bike riders.
faces? Okay, yeah, but what were we saying?
Spoilerific.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other?
Oh, we're talking about no fat. There was no fat.
There's no fat.
Yeah, there's no fat on this.
Well,
I think it was
very
just the
well
perfect
shot.
length it needed to be. Yeah, very well shot.
Very well
looks
shot.
great. This is just a
It's a good movie.
solid,
Straight up good movie.
straight up R-rated, so keep the youngins away from this one. But I think
Yeah,
15
definitely.
up can take it.
Yeah.
Nothing sexually explicit, really.
Nothing sexually explicit.
There was like a scene of a girl on top of a guy at the picnic, and I don't know if
Yeah.
there was something real happening there,
right.
but
Right.
but it was, yeah, but definitely not for young children. I mean, there's quite a bit
No,
of violence in here.
I think 13 and above is fine.
Yeah,
I would have rated this PG-13. I didn't notice any cursing either, or like at
Don't
least
remember.
not overly indulgent in that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The whole
Yeah.
movie, really?
I mean, well, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was fine. Or maybe I'm just been overexposed. Keep in mind, I saw The Exorcist when I was 5.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. No, but I like the cinematography. I wish it came out a little later. Maybe get some
Closer to Oscar season.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it did come out in a lull, or it is going to come out in a lull. I guess it's out this Friday, because there's really nothing until Twisters. That I mean, I know that Quiet Place Part 1.
Yeah,
whatever,
Quiet Place is next week.
which I don't know how many people that's going to garner, because it's like at this point it's a third in line in the movie series, and this was
it's
actually
a prequel.
It's original. It's original. Yeah. I honestly, I have nothing really bad to say about it. The pacing. Yeah. What is there anything bad about this movie?
I had nothing bad to say about it.
No.
Which really I'm still just gobsmacked that I enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I went in with like, so
I
I
was
was
like,
actually
oh,
hoping it was going to
okay.
be this one. I was like, yeah, I would eventually like to catch this because I like Tom Hardy. Austin Butler's kind of growing on me. And so, yeah, I'm glad that this was the mystery movie then.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, as far as the mystery movies themselves are concerned, this is near the top of the list as far as I'm
Mm-hmm.
concerned.
Right on
Yeah,
up
I
there
mean,
with American Fiction.
It's up there with American
yeah.
Fiction.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
God. American Fiction was great.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was one of the mystery movies.
It
I
was the
loved it.
anti woke, the woke anti woke movie.
It was the anti-American Society of Magical Negroes movie.
That's right. That's right.
It said something that needed to be said, but without being divisive and false about it,
Right.
which
Right.
is what the
Exactly.
other movie did. That was an excellent film.
Yeah, Carl, go
Yeah,
see this thing, man. This movie is
I do recommend
fantastic.
it.
It
Absolutely.
is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best of the year so far. It is very
Yeah.
high on my list. As of right now, I have it at number 2
After what?
for the year. After Late Night with the Devil, and it might go up.
What about Dune?
Dune
It's okay.
is okay.
Oh,
I'm not super into Dune. Personally.
you guys.
My issue. Here's my issue with Dune. Okay,
It's okay.
Is that Dune changes the Chani character too much.
Okay, fair enough.
In the book, and in the previous films, she's pretty much a ride or die. She's with Paul the whole way. Right. And in this version, she's this
and in the
whiny,
book,
pouty, this constant
the drama, the love
face.
triangle drama.
Well, that's Zendaya.
I know that's
on her face.
That's annoying. But they did change. Like I haven't
and they
read
changed
the
her character. She walks out on him at the end.
Yeah,
and that's not the story. Because how are you going to do Dune Messiah if Chani's not there?
Right, and they did have kids, so.
Yeah, and they don't in this version. So
I never mentioned to you the conversation that I had with Kevin J. Anderson about how because he did work on the stuff for the film, but he didn't have obviously final control over that. But I was talking with him about that the whole thing with Chaney, and he was not happy with that change at all. Yeah. For the exact same reasons that Deleted was mentioning.
Yeah, I think for me, as far as 2024 goes, this is like up there with like The Covenant in this at this juncture of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison. I mean, The Covenant to me had totally
different movie
feels
completely
associated with it, but as far as the solidity of it,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like as I mentioned earlier, it does feel like The Fighter.
I didn't even think about that.
But... with the two lead, the two male leads, and then the woman. Although the woman wasn't as strong as Amy Adams was in The Fighter, which whatever, it could be she was born in '93, so she doesn't have as much experience as Amy Adams, but. Yeah, it had the same similar feel to The Fighter.
And this movie, in my opinion, is better than The Fighter by far.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but I was wondering why I was watching it. Was it the same screenwriters? It's not, but it really did have the feel of something that they would do.
Yeah. So who did write this? Let's find it.
Jeff Nichols wrote and directed, and it's based on
a book.
It's based on the book that the Mike Feist character is writing.
Really curious around
a little bit character. So yeah.
What's that?
Did you guys stick around a little bit after the credits to see the photos?
I did see that they were showing photos, but I don't remember if it was done showing the photos when I left.
It was very brief. They might have shown like 5 or 6 photos.
Okay, I think I
in
did
quick
see them, but
succession.
I didn't study them.
Yeah, I mean, so it was the original,
I
The original.
assumed.
like the
I
original.
assumed.
So
Yeah.
that was very cool. Yeah, I wish this came out in like November, because right now I think this is going to completely fly under the radar, and I predict that it'll be flying on the high seas by next week.
Yeah, I don't think this
I
is going to
hope not,
be a big
but
money maker,
No,
unfortunately,
and
just because this isn't
film.
like a blockbustery type. But
well, that's why we're here. We are the people who
well,
call
I
attention
wouldn't
to
have
movies
gone to
like
see it
this. You
if
know,
it hadn't been. So I'm glad we're able to talk about
Yeah.
it and tell. Maybe word of mouth will
Yeah. I mean,
spread enough, but
I'll do
I
at
don't
least
know.
one video on it.
I think I'm going to do a separate review for it.
Yeah.
That's not something that I always do for these.
Yeah, no, just because I do want people to actually go and see it. Because like Bad Boys 4, fuck, I'm sorry. I have no desire. Sorry, that just slipped.
no, so that's.
Oh, that was a fun movie though.
I
really
heard,
enjoyed
and
that film.
you know, the critical drinker liked it.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like wasting.
Yeah, I
money.
still need to see it.
Very
Maybe
enjoyable.
I will.
Yeah,
it's still out when I don't know something comes out, and I'll go do like a 2 or a 3-for-1 special, the 3-for-1 Polly special. I mean, just movies are so bad that I'm sorry, I got to get myself an inflation discount.
Yeah, well, that's why I do that. That's why I'm really glad for the Regal Unlimited.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a matter of time. There's only 168 hours in a week, and I can't afford to waste 2.5 hours on crap.
Yeah. And
I have to
there's a lot of crap. There's definitely a lot of crap. But this is not. This is not. Go see this, guys.
Exactly. Please go see this. This is, I think, the 10 thumbs of approval.
Yep, agreed. Right now it's 4 out of 5. I might bump it up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a solid 4 out of 5.
Definitely, yeah.
Solid.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
At first, I thought when we're into it and the stories, I was like, okay, this isn't bad. I was like, okay, this is going to be a 3.5. This is going to be a 3.5 for me. That's what I was thinking. And then I was like, I get home and I'm like, nope, this is a 4. This is absolutely a 4.
Yeah.
You're starting to get to your Larry David face. It's like pretty good.
Yeah. Very, very well made, well acted, solid film, based at least somewhat on fact, And
I don't know how much is fact.
Again,
fiction.
We don't know.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is based on a book by the same name. So
so I mean,
and the guy who wrote that book is a character in the film. So take that what you will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, nothing bad to say about this one. Very pleasantly surprised, and I might even put out more than one video on this guy.
Yeah.
Amongst my Acolyte video.
Oh, it's okay. You have fun torturing yourself with that.
It's so funny because I saw the TV Glow video started picking up, and I'm not getting destroyed as much as I thought.
I was wondering what was going to happen.
Because apparently some people also hated it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm kind of dreading it.
No, don't.
I want
to.
No, delete it. No, don't do this to yourself. Here's
the thing, is that
not like a pleasurable pain.
No, but let me explain. It is getting mixed reviews, but I do notice that it seems to be coming down between generational lines.
Oh,
the Gen Zers are digging it.
Well, hold on a second. Gen Zers have TikTok brain rot.
Sorry, not also possible. The another thing is that it was getting some comparisons to Twin Peaks, because apparently the show within the show is very reminiscent of that.
I had heard it
I
compared to
I would
David
very
Lynch.
highly, you know.
That's why I
Um,
wasn't interested in it, to be honest.
Another
'cause
thing, well, I'm a Lynch fan, so that's
I
another thing.
know, yeah.
But
No
what
Lynch
this
had.
most reminded me of, or at least what the trailer most was reminding me of, was this TV show that ran on Sci-Fi Channel for like 3 or 4 seasons called Channel Zero.
Oh yeah.
And the first season was a season called Candle Cove,
Mm-hmm.
which also is a plot line where there's this show within a show, and the show might be real, or at least affecting the minds of the people who see it. And I was getting kind of that vibe. I'm not saying that it would be as good, because I really dug the hell out of Channel Zero. I love that show.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be, I don't know how long that movie was, an hour and 45 minute waste of your time. Please don't do this to yourself. I care about you, and I don't want to see you get hurt.
He's trying to do an intervention here. Deleted.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
You know,
The movie is trash.
I mean, if you want, some people do like to watch bad movies so they can,
this isn't like funny bad, like Ishtar.
Yeah,
this is just bad.
Yeah,
No.
pass. I'll pass.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in a hurry to see it. It's not a movie I would see in theaters or rent it or anything like that. There are ways, which we don't condone.
It's already
We do not
up
condone.
Matey.
It's already up.
Already up
Yeah.
there. Yep.
So if I
1080p.
were to see it at some point, that would be how.
Yeah.
But whenever there are people that are kind of so divided on a movie, and the thing with me is I don't want to be that guy. I'm like I said, I am no longer in that. And we had this discussion when we reviewed Babes. I am not.
Oh God.
I am no longer in that 18 to 49 bracket. So I understand. And this looks like a movie that is for that 18 to 49, or at least the 18 to 30 out of that 18 to 49.
I saw the TV glow. Yeah.
So,
well, less than that, like under 30.
Deleted wants to do a Mystery Science Theater with the movie. There have been movies this year that I've done that with sometimes, and they'll be with movies I've liked even, but you can still kind of riff them a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's been such a lean year.
It's so much
that I am happy that we found a movie like this that's good and
agreed.
Really should be there at Oscar time, but probably won't be because it doesn't have the message.
Yeah, there was no messaging in here at all. There was nothing like that.
Nothing.
No. The men are allowed to be men, the women are women, and motorcycles and guns and drugs. Oh my, and what's interesting,
testosterone.
What's interesting is it's telling a story of this time, like they say at the end of the movie, the golden age of the motorcycle clubs, and this is before everything gets turned into Sons of Anarchy,
right?
Which is what I thought the movie was going to be, because that's the way it was being advertised. This is going to be an entire season of Sons of Anarchy in 2 hours, and it's not really that at all. It's really something better in a lot of ways.
So I actually thought that this was not going to be like Sons of Anarchy, but it would show how we got Sons of Anarchy, which it did.
Yeah,
I think it did that very well.
It's an interesting movie, very much of it. Well, I did, I think my dad was a little more into it than I was.
My uncle used to watch it. My Uncle Ben.
Yeah, the cool thing about Sons of Anarchy is we got Taylor Sheridan out of it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so because he was in the show for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And
let's not get into our love of Taylor Sheridan because we'll be here all night. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let me take the. Not that we went into too much, but we did go into some minor spoilers there. But
well, some were major.
Yeah,
like the Tom Hardy one.
There was major.
I mean, you could see the writing on the wall.
Yeah. It was going to be him or Austin Butler.
Yeah.
One of them was not going to survive the film, and it just.
Your spoiler banner is off.
Yeah, he took it off, and then I challenged him on his comment. Okay. We're done.
That's it.
We're done.
Okay, we're done.
Spoilers. Good movie. Solid 4 out of 5. Great acting.
Indeed.
Great story. Great character
pacing.
Development.
Yep.
Great pacing. I really like the costume design. The makeup, hair, makeup, fantastic. Cinematography,
solid across the board.
Yeah. Did I forget anything?
Can't think of anything.
Great soundtrack. Good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Complex but likable characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, get out there and see it, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, please go see it. Support this movie. This
is the movie that audiences in Hollywood needs right now.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And like I said, as of right now, I am giving it my buy it on 4K rating.
Oh, very coveted rating.
And that might go up. So it's definitely very high on my list of favorite movies. Speaking of which, next Sunday will be my best of 2024 so far. Episode of Unscripted. That will be Sunday at 8 p.m. So if you want to see, I did find 10 other movies that I did like. So I managed to find 10. I have a top 10. I have a solid top 10, I think. So
are you streaming this by yourself or yes?
That as of right now, it's just me. But I mean, if the two of you would like to come on and join,
I'll be out of state, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it on Sunday.
Oh gosh, no, I can't on Sunday. Too bad.
Okay.
What time is it again? If I can tune in to listen,
I can definitely listen at 8.
It's 8. 8 Sunday at 8.
Sunday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Unscripted, the best of 2024 so far.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're unscripted episode.
And so this is definitely going to be on the list, man. A very coveted ring. Yeah. We are getting to that, but I wanted everybody to let everybody know.
Oh no, it's Sunday not. He does live streams all through the week. He's
okay. I'll just go ahead and do this now.
Jump right into it.
Right. Live from Sparkwood 21, which is my Twin Peaks retrospective series. It's an episode called "See You in 25 Years," Part 3. And we are going to be watching in its entirety the fan edit of Fire Walk With Me, which is the film with the missing pieces re-edited into the film. So get a snack, get a beverage. It's going to be a long one. We're going to be watching the whole thing tomorrow night. So it's going to be fun, but it's going to be longer than our usual show. Wednesday, as of right now, I don't have anything planned, but we'll see. I'm waiting to hear back about someone about possibly coming on. But right now, as of Wednesday, nothing planned. Thursday, Action Theater with Outlaw Bill, formerly Jedi Bill. And thanks to the Acolyte, he is a Jedi no more. So he's Outlaw Bill now.
Is that why he changed his name?
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Action Theater will be back 4:30 p.m. Thursday afternoon, and we are going to be watching The Last Samurai.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie.
And then later on that evening will be my weekend update, where I let everybody know what I'm going to be doing the next week, including Unscripted. Friday, I'm going to be joining Big Al Presents, who was in the chat with us earlier. Probably asleep by now, but he joined us earlier. And Films with Friends with soundtracks with Birdman, hopefully. And we are going to be watching Star Crash from 1978. And
that movie.
Crash.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never heard of it?
Okay, got it.
Oh,
yeah.
It is a fun one, man. It's from 1978. Yeah.
Yes, I found it. I'm always up for new recommendations, and I trust Sin with my life with these recommendations.
Oh no, the pressure! The pressure!
No,
Okay.
Sin has very good taste in movies, or at least aligns with mine.
So far.
So far, so good.
Speaking of Samurai Blind, Fury is a fun movie. Yeah, it's a
Fury is
basically American Zatoichi with Rutger Hauer, and yeah, I'm a fan of that one as well. It's a fun one. Yeah. Don't trust Sin.
S-I-N, yeah, I know, right?
But I must. No. All right. So, Sin, what do you have coming up?
So obviously on Wednesday, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Sound Booth Theater. We will be covering the movies. Oh my gosh. Some anime movie, Puella Magi Madoka, whatever. I cannot remember it. And then Turbo Kid and also Arachnophobia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We pick the movies based on releases. Audiobook releases we have coming out around the same time. So we recently released a story called Chrysalis 5, which has to do with an ant. So that. And then I might do an impromptu live stream with my brother, one of my brothers, once he's in town on Thursday, but I don't know. I'm going to go see a movie on Friday, so I'm hoping to get a review for that done at some point, maybe by the weekend or early next week. And I decided in the middle of this live stream that I was probably going to do an actual standalone review for the Bike Riders. So hopefully it can get that up. Maybe the end of this week, closer to release date. Hi, Putin's cat. So that's what's going on with me.
Paul.
So I will continue to bash the Acolyte because it is getting the views and the subscribers. Probably at least one, maybe two videos about that. Definitely hitting up the Bike Riders. Maybe for sure one time, maybe twice, because YouTube seems to really like multiple videos on the same thing. And then I don't know if you guys have checked out my very, very long form video on Demolition Man. Demolition Man tried to warn you.
Yep.
The hidden warning.
That was one of the movies we talked about in a live stream.
I go deep. over 27 minutes about that. And I have a whole series of that planned out. And with it, so the next one that I'm planning on doing is, I'll give you a little hint, 1998 movie with a certain Oscar slapper.
Okay.
And this movie tried to warn you, and then Edward Snowden tried to warn you, and then several other people tried to warn you. So I'm going to go deep on...
Is that Enemy of the State?
Enemy of the State.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You got it. You got it.
Good movie. I like that movie.
It is a very good movie, and it's very prescient. It was basically all of Edward Snowden's revelations 14 years before he made them. So yeah, there's my little clue in for a long form video. Sorry, TikTok brain rot crowd. It's going to be long.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Enigma. I love it. Thank you. Welcome. I hope to do my best.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank everyone who joined us in the chat, everyone who joined us on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. We had 50 people watching us throughout the show.
Awesome sauce.
Thank you
all. Thank you all for
Radioland.
Thank you all for sticking around. All right, so last words.
Nope, no tengo más palabras. I don't have any more words. I am done. Adios.
Go see the Bike Riders.
Go see the Bike Riders.
Go see the Bike Riders.
Agreed.
Yes.
This is the movie that Hollywood needs right now.
All right. So, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win. Go see the Bike Riders this Friday.
Yes.
Yes, please. Do out Friday. Take your girl. Take your girl out night.
Furiously typing.
I was like, what is he doing?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.